Hello and welcome back to the Pride Pod here on Loud and Proud Orlando. We're back with another Tuesday night Pride Pod. I am your host, John Rollins, here with my co-host, Luis Carlos Pineda, to talk everything Orlando Pride. And not only Orlando Pride, but playoffs Orlando Pride.
That's
And
right.
Luis, did it start well? Tell us your initial thoughts. Well, welcome first, but also tell us your initial thoughts on
Well,
this
I mean
epic
the well, I'm
Pride
happy.
game.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you for everybody that's watching and listening. Thank you for your support as always. Do you see us now? That's what I want to say. Do you see us now? Four goals, cuatro, cat. That's how you say it in French. Banda and Marta shine in the Pride resounding 4-1 win uh, in the debut of the NWSL playoffs for the Pride. Unfortunately, Chicago Red Stars will be for another year, but for sure, I mean, it was an eventful night, historic night. And I felt like the Pride definitely show that they're here to definitely take care of business in this league. They're not kidding around. They're definitely, the whole moniker of the UCS now, definitely it's phenomenal. I do want to say it's much better than all teeth. But it kind of goes very well to how this team was definitely very no one gave 2 cents for this team in the beginning of the season, and this team surprised everybody, pundits, podcasters, press people, and other teams, executives, and they're taking the league by storm. And we'll discuss what's coming. I know that the NWSL voting and all of that. We'll discuss all in a few minutes. But yeah, I'm just super happy that it was a resounding win, John.
Yes, indeed. On the Do You See Us Now, we got an awesome gift
That's right. Yeah.
from the communications team. They sent us this very cool. I don't know if I would love to be able to line it up with the camera where
I
you can
haven't I haven't really opened mine
you
yet.
can't. It's one of these viewfinders if you're listening, and if you look inside, it's really hard. I can't show you, obviously. But inside is all of there are different nominees. So we got Do You See Us Now? And then you click through and there's Banda and up for there, and there's Marta, all the different nominees this year that we're going to talk about later for the season awards.
Yeah, definitely. You have to give kudos to the communications team because they are definitely did really a cool marketing thing with UCS now. Like definitely kudos to them for sure. It's awesome. I haven't opened mine yet because I kind of wanna,
You want to save it?
right? I want to kind of take time, and
Well, there's some great, taglines on here. Obviously, the 2024 Shield winners. Also, league record 24 match unbeaten streak,
well, there you go.
longest win streak in league history, most shutouts in a single NWSL season, most points in a single NWSL season, most consecutive shutouts in league history, 994 minutes without allowing a goal, and so much more, as it says underneath there.
For
So,
sure.
do you see us now? I think is definitely the right statement for this year, right, Luis?
Definitely. I mean, I think this team is not only shown their resilience game in and game out, the work ethic that they're putting in, but there's a lot of nominees. And honestly, if you think about it, like when I did, because I voted and I had to do the starting 11, I just couldn't really put. I mean, I had to put Sam's, I had to put Carrie. I mean, there was no way, for me to put anybody else because that Pride backline, it's been so successful. Yeah, we'll be reviewing the Chicago beatdown, the NWSL Final Four, the season awards, and then we're gonna preview KC Current this Sunday.
Sorry there, I kind of cut you off trying to operate the stream. Yes, these are our agendas for the day. Thank you to everybody who's here. Air Vega, we got a comment already from you saying "Go Pride." Blue 121-975. Do you go? Is that your name you go by? All my prayers for the championship for my pride team. Love that.
Hopefully, yeah, I love that. Yeah. Yeah.
And also
Two
Onel
more
Barrett
games.
says just 2 wins away. Yeah,
Two more
100%.
games.
We'll obviously talk about one of those coming up later in the show as we preview KC Current. But first, let's kick off, Luis, with the game against Chicago, 4-1 on the night. Your initial thoughts, and then we'll probably go into the highlights on this one.
Well, my initial thoughts on this was, definitely a start of it was a quick kickoff. The Pride kind of taking matters into their own hands with Angelina creating chances. You know, Banda was she had a lot of chances. In the first half. Ali Watt as well was great. It was a great tactical move by Seb. He mentioned that he rewarded Watt to start. Summer Yates, and that's where the goal came in fast. So I think that when the Pride bites first, it's tough for other teams to end up controlling the game. It was very tough for Chicago to come back from that. And then after that, it was pretty much all Orlando Pride. I mean, the whole entire game. And yeah, and obviously, there was a little kind of mental lapse there on the back line and the Chicago goal, right? But we'll discuss all of that and more. But I thought it was an overall phenomenal game. Obviously, we faced a team that we definitely should have been beaten. So and we did, and I think it was very entertaining for the fans. Over 11,000 people in the game, so that was great. It kind of looked like more, in my opinion. It was very, very, very loud. Even in the national anthem, they sang night. Typically you don't hear night when you do the national anthem, but you heard it in this game. It was definitely a wonderful atmosphere.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was the best Pride atmosphere I've ever experienced. I was in the wall for this one, and there was just a lot of, I think, energy around the place. I think that a lot of the crowd was into it. It felt very much like we were behind the team trying to be that 12th player. So that was great to see, and I think the players responded to that. But do you have the highlights, Luis? Yes, perfect.
Yeah, do you want to maximize it?
Yeah, here we
Yeah,
go. So, um, of course, we started out really well in this game. I mean, looking at the
super
totals,
strong.
the stats overall, we had 27 total shots, 9 on target, 6 big chances. And Barbara Banda had a chance, like, what was it, in the like 13th second or something crazy? Like, it
Yeah.
was the first attack of the game, and she could have scored. So let's get into highlights, and we'll see how this one went down.
Marta gets the first touch. We are underway. The NWSL playoffs are on Prime. Heather, you've been in these games. You've played in these moments. Angelina brings it forward. Finds Banda. Banda!
You can hear the crowd there.
Yeah, for sure.
That's great. It's not, bad to say, but it's like not always that you can hear the actual lyrics of the songs coming
Yeah,
out of the wall.
and that was the first really good chance in the 16 seconds of the game. Barbara Banda, almost scores. Came really close. Um, I have a feeling, and I'm 110% sure this ain't over for Banda. I mean, she's gonna get better and better. I think next season she's gonna be playing a whole preseason with the Pride. Like, you're gonna start seeing more connections, more sequences, and she's gonna get used to Seb's system even more. So, I mean, there's more to come for her. She's not over after this. So yeah, it was great. 16 seconds. I was like, yeah, we got this under the bag. And when I first saw that, I was like, yeah, we got this. I don't want to sound cocky, but I was like, yeah,
This bander's starting hot. Like,
yeah,
you know what it made me feel like it is good that I feel like sometimes the Pride is a team where we need to get a few like shots in early. Like we kind of like need to find our, you want to say like, oh, get an early test on the keeper, like just getting your lines right or whatever they say, like all those old phrases. So I feel like this was Banda just, testing the goalkeeper early, getting things ready for when she really started to open up later on. But what a start. I mean, this is what we wanted to see.
Yeah, it was definitely a great
Off
start.
the mark. Could you imagine? 16 seconds in. Yates pulls that back. Falls. Deflected. Follow. Headed in!
Luis, your thoughts on Haley McCutcheon's goal here? To be honest, when it first went, I had no idea who put it in until like I was trying to watch it back on the replay. I was like, "What happened? Who put it in? I don't care. We got a goal." 25 minutes in.
Yeah, I mean, she's looked for that goal the entire season, and I think this was that's why you saw her kind of celebrate. She didn't even know how to celebrate. She was kind of letting go all the bad juju's. I think she's been looking out for this goal for the whole entire season, and finally it happened, and it was a massive one because that was a trickle down effect after that. There was a bunch of there was also another shot from Marta that hit the crossbar. So I mean, honestly, I think it was a cherry on the cake on a phenomenal season by Haley McCutcheon. To me, one of the best D mids that the league has right now. I mean, she's been nothing but influential. And then when Sepp puts her as a left back, she also is delivered. So definitely somebody that hopefully is here to stay for many more years, John. I mean, because she's a very important part of the puzzle.
Yeah, I mean, I think an unsung hero to this
For
team,
sure.
like an absolute workhorse in the midfield that we don't talk enough about how good Haley McCutcheon has been this year. Like, we'll talk about the votes later, but I was definitely looking for her in the midfield bracket. And she was down there on the fullback, and I was like, oh yeah, she's a fullback. I don't think of her as a fullback anymore. The way she dominates in the midfield. It was just great to see her getting on the end of it here. But really, if we break it down, Summer is a great ball across in here, Luis, and then it's just there's a goal, like a goal line save almost from one player. There's another one, and it deflects again, and then it lands to Haley, who just cool, calm. She's got the time, she's got the space, and just a nice headed finish.
Yeah, for
Great to see.
sure.
Any way it goes in, we'll take it. And they were sitting back, defending like that, trying to put, people on the line, trying to stop it from going in. And I just didn't. I think once this happened, it was like, okay, now it's going to really open up.
Yeah, after that, it was, like I said, a trickle down effect because not only gave the confidence for the whole entire team to start attacking nonstop, but it's just it meant they knew how much it meant for Haley, that goal. You know what I mean? Because she's been looking for it the whole entire season. She's had shots from distance. She's had close chances. She set up really good chances too for the teammates, but she hasn't had that goal. And now that she has that goal, she can cross her off her list and just continue to trending up. And I feel like this was something that at first, when you start the game, you kind of have the fear of the unknown because obviously the other team also plays, and obviously we're not going to discredit Chicago here, but after that goal, it was just like even the players got a little bit more confident in themselves to be like, yeah, we got this, like we got this win. And good for her, good for Haley.
I find it interesting that they, like, both teams did a huddle. Like, you could
Yeah.
see it in the highlights there. Like, they both, like, huddled together right after this goal. Like, obviously, like, we see that a lot from, like, the team that goes down a goal, but we don't always see it from us when we go up a goal. But it was like, okay, now go get another. It wasn't like, okay, we're going to rest on, like, it was like, do it again. Great work. Let's get another one. I'll read a few comments here, Luis. Stream Jesus says, go Pride. Love that. Blue, definitely a joy to pick my best 11 in the NWSL vote. For sure. We'll talk about that in a bit. Stream Jesus, 2 cans of whoop ass away. And what else we got here? Sorry, I'm clicking off. Stop this. There we go. Alonzo, sold out on Sunday. Is it sold out already on Sunday? I know the
It's sold
tickets are
out. No,
selling well, but I
it's
don't think
sold
it's
out.
sold out. I don't know, Alonzo.
If
That are
it's
you
sold
like really
out,
hopeful, or is this? I think we'll check our facts on that one,
I'm,
buddy.
I'm, I'm happy. If it's sold
Shinta,
out, that'd be
is it
great.
actually question mark? Yeah, we're questioning you here, bud. Banda just saving the goals for playoffs. Like, yeah, I do think Luis. I'm not saying like I don't want to say that there was any less effort in the last 3 games of the year, but I do think that like there was always for me going to be a step up like when we came to these playoff games. Like, and we've seen at home, we always have that anyway. But I did really feel like we were going to see all out from this Pride team, and that's what we saw, right? I don't think there was anything left on the table here.
No, for sure. I think they wanted to also, prove not only their own fan base, a part of the fan base that probably, they didn't feel like they were coming as hot, but also the lack of coverage that this team has had this year. I mean, they're talking about a historic year for the Pride. And that's why I love the Do You See Us Now, moniker, because it is true. I mean, they've beaten records after records. They've destroyed stats. They play with such heart, game in and game out. And the lack of coverage from the big boys, it's been pretty disappointing, nonetheless. So it's great to see that they're thriving through that. They're thriving. They're not getting themselves down. They're thriving. So phenomenal game. You're muted.
Too
Don.
much for Chicago to defend.
And look at Malum looked at on the bench, and Adriana is.
Oh, we did see there Summer on the bench, Luis. We'll talk about that a second. Of course, she got the British would call a dead leg, but
She had a Charlie horse.
Yeah, Charlie. I didn't know that till I moved to America. I was like, what is a Charlie horse? A dead leg. So Summer obviously like in pain, but we're hopeful that she'll recover from that and able to time to play next game. I would be surprised if she's out for longer than having to miss a game. I don't think so for that. But obviously she went off. Adriana came on, which was like an early sub for us that perhaps obviously wasn't planned. But that's the beauty of the Pride. Like we've got that depth, right, Luis?
Yeah, and then we saw when Summer was taken out and Adriana came back in, and we saw a lot of sequences and connections between them two, Banda and Adriana. And I have faith that this is going to get much better. I mean, it looked very, very natural, not like before that it kind of was like, okay, this is my ball, move away. Or, and also Banda will do the same thing. This is my ball, move away. I kind of saw them, playing with each other, and I think those are long steps, and so that's how I feel like those partnerships right now, if they're in a kind of brewing right now, in a brewing stage, I think they're going to flourish the further down they get down this playoffs. And then they're going to take, hopefully, after winning the championship, hopefully they can take those partnerships further into the postseason and then into the next season, which I feel like, it's an unstoppable 1-2 punch, having Adriana on the flank and then having Banda up 9. I mean, it's a nightmare. If they are able to exploit all their talents, I think it'll be a phenomenal 1-2 punch for the Pride.
I definitely think she had a great game when she came off the bench, which was awesome to see. But yeah, that connection is developing for sure.
Come in off the bench for her, so that knock of knees with Joseph a moment ago sees her out. Here's Banda racing through. Banda!
I mean,
phenomenal.
Just the second goal, the speed. I mean, the celebration, but I want to see it from this angle, Luis, because
the second one is even more impressive.
Yeah, if you watch it from this angle, just the way she burns past them. They just can't catch it.
Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah, talk
And
about Emily Sams with the assist, man.
I think you might be able to see. I was like over here on the right, like up here somewhere. So I was watching that one, like obviously, like right. It's like right in front of me, and I thought, like, oh, what's she gonna do? We've seen Barbara get in this position a lot where she's through on goal, and it was the right call, and she just so calmly slotted this one in, Luis. So the speed, the finish, it was all there. It was prime Barbara, like when she first got into the league. When she those first few games when she played for us, this is what we saw a lot, and I think it was just too much for Chicago.
I wanna say hello to Dino from Into the Channel. It was sitting right next to me in this game. Great outlet. I do want to say, check him out, Into the Channel.
Yep, they just did an interview with Corey Dyke. So
Yeah,
check that out.
it's definitely a very good podcast, all about women's sports. So phenomenal coverage by Dino. I was right next to him, and then when he saw that, he's like, "Yeah, that's it." It's like, yeah,
That's game.
yeah,
He called it. Correct. I mean, it was, I was feeling like it was game, like you said, Luis, when 13 seconds in, when Banda was getting on goal. But yeah, I think we're very confident in this team right now, and we're confident that Chicago, was going to be a test. Of course, everything's a test in playoffs, but we should be winning this first round. And to do it the way we did, though, we'll talk about that later. But
now
just really impressive.
Banda became the first African international to score in the NWSL playoffs since 2016, which was Francisca Ortega did for the Spirit. So
wasn't this also like the first brace in the playoffs? I don't know, like ever, or definitely for us.
It was the
I
first.
think there
It
was
was the first brace in an NWSL quarterfinals.
That's what it was. Okay.
Ever since, and also the first international player who scored a brace in the playoffs.
Wow.
Yeah. So first player ever, first brace ever in a quarterfinal match, and first international player to score a brace in the playoffs. It's pretty impressive.
Amazing. Let's carry on with the highlights and see some more goals.
Well, that's all it takes sometimes. A well-paced final ball. Carrie Recaro gets it all wrong with her angle and her approach, which allows Banda calm, cool, collected, and by the way, pretty quick. A good finish in that pocket, but it's just getting it to her initially. And I don't know if the game has allowed just the reps for her to get on the ball, to face up, to then play in Joseph or Mal Swanson.
Franklin, back from Swanson. Broom, diagonal. Watt. Banda.
That's
A stride
it.
ahead again.
Look at that.
She's truly arrived. The Private made their point. 3-0.
I mean, if Dino wasn't right at 2-0, he was right at 3-0. I mean, that's
to do that to
That was-
Naher, my respects right there. Like that's just impressive. I don't know,
Yeah.
but she reminds me of you remember Didier Drogba in his Chelsea years when he the first 2 seasons?
Yeah,
Dude was just fast, unstoppable, crafty. Made goals. Look. How did you see? This is a season keeper, national team keeper. Just make him look
gold
funny.
medal keeper right here.
Yeah, look at that. Oh,
That touch right there is,
yeah.
I think at first I thought she hit it at her and it went
Yeah.
underneath her and she got lucky because I was on the other side. I was like, oh yeah, she just power hit it and it bounced
Right.
underneath there. But when you watch it from that angle, nah, she
No,
completely.
she thought,
She is so cheeky. Like, look at this last little touch here. I mean, she just goes, okay, where's the one place you're not? No, that's it. That's goal.
I
Insane.
guarantee you that.
And also, we got to shout out Ali Watt for it's not
Massive
in
game.
the second highlight. You have to watch it from the first one because the ball was so far away.
Yeah,
I mean, this
massive game.
is straight up the middle. Like Chicago, they've got the ball. Ali wins it deep. Let's talk. She's basically a left back position there.
Right.
Like obviously she's like a right winger a lot of the time, but she gets moved around left and right. And she collects the ball there. Great to do that. But then the vision to look up and see Banda and
Exactly.
just go. And you know why? Just because that's the ball that she wants, right? It's the same
Yeah.
thing. Like she's like, yeah, I would love it when people hit these over the top speed balls. So I'm gonna play Barbara.
The trust
Yeah,
between
exactly.
teammates.
The same way that they
Phenomenal.
like Summer found her in the last game,
Mhm.
Barbara was found by Ali in this game, and what a ball that was. And then we talked about Banda doing the rest, but she makes it look easy. It's not that easy. She's just gliding through.
So Ali Watt became the 4th player in NWSL history to record a multi-assist game in the playoffs.
Wow.
Yeah, and she recorded her 2nd and 3rd assist of the season and the first of her playoff career as a member of the Orlando Pride. So phenomenal couple of games. But I mean, this is not just the only game she's played freaking phenomenal. She's been playing I will say the last 3 or 4 games. I think even there were defeats. Like she's been very influential, and I think her reward was to start in this couple games. So can't wait to see that, man. It's gonna be great. I think we have a lot of players that we can just plug and play, and you can barely tell if they're subs, if they're starters. Like it's very unpredictable. I think all that depth right now, it works in such benefit for the Pride. It's tremendous.
For sure.
A stride ahead again. Barbara Banda! She's truly arrived! The Pride...
You can't teach speed, Mike. And that explosion is just world-class, different level stuff. I don't think the finish is what she had imagined, but it doesn't matter. As any good striker knows, it's not how, it's how many, Mike. Banda's looking to take this touch right around Alyssa Nair. It goes a little long, but she'll take it.
Grand Hill.
You're Marta, you go for this.
Alyssa Nair awaits. Marta strikes off the woodwork, straight into the air and over.
I didn't see this because I was really far away, like that closely. But yeah, I remember watching it back and be like, "Whoa, that is right on the frame for Martha. That could have been 3 right there. I mean, 4 right there."
Yeah, I mean that's what the Grand Hill was happy. Also, I wonder, people talk so much stuff about the Wolves, especially with OC, with Orlando City, saying, oh, they don't spend enough, but look at both teams. Both teams are doing great. You like, if I'm the owner, I'm watching like how Banda scored the first 2, like the 2nd and 3rd goal.
I mean,
I'm
there
loving
could be
it.
no question of their
No
investment in Orlando
question.
Pride. Like they've spent, like Barbara's the 2nd highest paid player in the league.
Yeah.
So
and it's worth the investment. I mean, clearly.
yeah, it was great. They interviewed Mark Wilf, and he was talking about how impressed he was with Seb and Haley and just the whole organization and how you put the right people in place and it all turns around, and that's what we've seen. Let's carry on with the highlights here, Luis, because we hit the bar again.
Yeah.
Claim yes. Alyssa would claim yes.
No,
that's going.
Marta, wonderful pass. Forward. Banda. Off.
Yeah.
And like at this point, Luis, I'm thinking the Banda like hat trick, it's coming. Like it's got to be coming. Like
I thought the same.
We're all on Banda hat trick watch, and she hits the bar when she's clean through. Like it, she scores a really hard ones. This is the easiest one, and she hits the post.
lost all those Olympic hat tricks, and in this knockout game, nearly secured one tonight. It could have been the knockout punch.
What an absolutely glorious final ball.
You see that ball from Julie?
Yeah. I
That's
mean,
what the commentator's talking about. Outside of the foot, she just slides it in. Beautiful.
and that's it. I mean, you're talking about an assist from a winger, which is Ali. Then you have a 9. Julie technically is a 9 and a winger, doing a pass like that to Banda. You have Summer Yates. You have Angelina. You have Carrie Avello. You have Corey. Like, you see what I'm talking about? Like it's so unpredictable.
Not that we're all Banda, but if the game is fine Banda and Banda scores, then we win. You know what I mean? Like it, and we have so many ways to do that, which is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Ball outside of her right foot from Julie Doyle.
Dyke. Banda spins. Banda got tugged. Listen, Nichols looked in. I think Banda's saying she got her shirt tugged. Maybe worse.
She's sitting on a hat trick,
Oh,
but also
come on. Yeah, that's a penalty.
I mean, she misses it. I think to be fair to the ref, she does pull her from behind Banda. Like, so from where the ref is originally, I don't think she can see it that obviously. So, and Banda doesn't make a huge deal of it. Like, she's not going to. She's like, she complained, but she's not going to be like, yo, and flop or anything. So, I don't hate that she missed it. I think it's great that they went back and looked at it and go, okay, yeah, this was because it's a penalty.
I don't know if he's listening, but at OC games, there's the boo guy. We always hear him right below the press box. He says boo every time the ref does a bad call, and you can hear him. He was actually at the Pride game, because when this happened, he's like boo. So I'm like, wow, that's great. That's great to hear that in the Pride game. But yeah, I'm that's what VAR is for, right? So
yeah, I mean I get it. Banda's fast. Yeah. She got away from you. You want to pull her back.
It was causing a lot of frustration. I mean, no one wants to travel all the way to Orlando from Chicago.
Yeah, and you're 3-0 down
and get your butt handed to you, and then that's it.
Yeah, not easy. Not easy.
Martha's on the pitch.
Correct.
At this point, though, Luis, I'm like, okay, sweet. Banda's gonna get the hat trick because she's gonna take the penalty. Love Marta. Love that she's such a great penalty taker. But why can't Banda take this one?
I just think it's a sign of respect. I think
it's also like we're always like, hey, we want the hat trick, but that's just like selfish for us. Like, and Banda's not that selfish,
Yeah, it's kind of like, Banda still has. I mean, I just feel like, I think also the players feel like, Banda, Marta is a captain. She's a goat. Like we're all here for her too. And talk about like those, like that ability of everybody being able to throw such a great pass, like pretty much like Marta would do. It's also because they see Marta, they train with Marta, they work with Marta, like they see her every day at work, a practice, and it's motivating. I mean, imagine you being a professional soccer player and just having Ronaldo next to you every freaking game. You'll probably be motivated too. So for them, it's just, I feel a sign of respect, and I thought it was that mainly, and yeah, I mean, Marta, 9 out of 10, she scores a great penalty. So
yes, indeed. I mean, I think, like I said, just purely selfish from like I we want the hat trick, but it doesn't, like you said.
Get your popcorn ready, guys.
Where's the player relative penalty? Player of the year. The talisman of the Pride. Marta against Nair. Marta scores! Orlando by 4. The celebration's on from one of the so much bigger.
Also, if you think about it, you have Nair in front of you, and so maybe it was the best decision to have somebody like Marta that already has played against Nair, has faced her, and even the national team level that would know, where to shoot it. It's just kind of like a win-win situation, in my opinion.
Yeah, you're definitely right. I mean, what a great penalty as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's perfect. That's amazing. And then don't tell me we're gonna watch the.
We're gonna watch the rest of the
Don't
game.
tell me we're gonna watch that. I hope they cut that out of the highlights.
No, we'll talk about this. So Chicago, they had some shit. Like, we weren't completely dominant. Well, of course, it was all us, but there were some chances. So let's see.
Line for Chicago, but doesn't clear the first.
Oh no, they had the chance. This is our attack again. This is not the one I'm thinking of. It's coming.
Defenders, not what Mal Swanson, was looking for.
Oh no.
Oh, Anna. I just,
You got famous, man. You put that tweet. You had the NWSL president retweeting you.
Look,
it's incredible, man.
Anna is coached by an old school English goalkeeping coach. In goalkeeping language, we say, put your foot through it. And we say, you just lump it. Like, in this scenario, just smash it. Like, there's no... Yeah. And Anna has, she's not the best with her feet. Let's be honest. Like, she's not a goalkeeper that wants to be playing it with her feet.
Right.
And that's okay. Not every goalkeeper is like that. And that's not a problem. And she gets, most of the clean sheets in the year. She doesn't need her feet. Like, that's not the point. So here, I think it's just a bad decision by her to try and do this. And the press was coming and she just bad touch. And then that's what can happen. So next time, she just got to lump it away, Luis. Just kick it. I don't care. Just kick it away. We can deal with wherever it goes. Just don't do this. So, absolutely love Anna. She's had an incredible season, but we don't.
Probably gonna be goalkeeper of the year.
Yeah, and this is the thing is like she has these moments, but they're such outlying moments of like just she can cut them out of her game. We have seen that throughout the year. Most of the year she's been accident free. Like there's been a few here or there, but most of the year she's been great. So we just, it's just like she can avoid this at times, and that's I think just some decision making here and there. Yeah. So it is what it is.
Live and let.
I mean, still goalkeeper of the year, right? Like let's not.
Yeah, I mean,
let's not belittle her performances at all. I would say, but obviously she got this one wrong, and I'm sure she's angry at herself.
I'm sure. All I'm saying is that after this, Chicago gained momentum. But then the momentum was put down by the Pride almost immediately. So I take that as a learning curve that at least it happened in this game, and already with a wide margin of goals in favor of the Pride, and not in a 0-0 semifinal.
Yeah, and I think we have to be aware that like we need to. I think there was a response. Like they had a few chances and got back into it, and then you saw us respond again. So I think we're never gonna be 100% clean all the time. Like we're gonna have some defensive lapses here and there, and that's okay. But most of the time, our back line is absolutely rock solid, and if we could always outscore our opponents like we have, then I think that's going to be our biggest advantage. And it's obviously going to be a lot more difficult to defend against the other teams that are left than it was. Like Chicago got some threats, but different story against some of the other teams that are left in the playoffs.
Yep.
All righty, let's finish up the highlights, and then we'll get on to our next topic.
Morehouse turned it over to Joseph. Chicago. More 5.
I'll be honest with you. The commentators were
play
like,
the and one of those players.
yeah.
Marta.
What were they like?
They're like, oh my god, yeah, they score. The comeback.
Yeah, it was a. we let them have one by accident. We
Mhm.
got a few comments here from Shidsa. Says Adriana looked better in that position. Sitting on the bench was healthy for her. IMO. You'll be hearing that boo a lot with these refs. This one is referring to the Anna Morehouse. She's Morehouse doing Morehouse things. Yeah, Shinter, we know. We've had some things. Angelina is all of us doing that Morehouse during that Morehouse blooper. Yeah, it was a hand to face moment there for Anna. But we gotta have faith. We gotta have faith that she's the goalkeeper, and she is a great goalkeeper. I think she just has moments, like we said. So
She's had a massive. I mean, she's grown so much this season.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's
I'm
comeback of
sure.
the year, maybe comeback of the year, probably.
Yeah, I mean, she's been called up for the Lions, all kinds of things. So there's blips, right? This is a blip, but hey, every player has them. But when you're a goalkeeper, they're just very obvious, right? The mistakes are more obvious and they cost you even more. So.
Oh no, Nayer's caught out. Marta picks her head up. Marta from the halfway line, contemplated it, closed down, glides by Nesbitt. Marta cuts. Adriana trailing. Adriana into Nayer. Missed most of the 2023 campaign. This lashed off frame by Joseph.
Well, again, those are those set pieces or dead balls, rather, that
apply the finishing touch. Angelina. Marta, a danger even from there. Picks out a pass. Doyle. Gautreau. That's a lot of purple in the final third, even with a 3-goal lead. Bello back. Doyle wants it.
Oh, what a save.
I think the commentator made our point there. He says, like, look at like we don't. There's no, okay, we're 4-1 up. Let's not. Like, it's the same attack all the time. It's the same game, but it doesn't matter what the scoreline is. We're going to be aggressive. So great to see that.
Yeah, for sure.
It's over by Nayer. Banda picks her head up. Adriana came in off the bench for an injured Summer Yates. Adriana leans back. Gautreau.
Oh, what a save right there, man.
That would have been a great goal for Morgan.
And that would have been also an amazing goal for her.
Yeah, good Nair save.
Time teammates, palm stung up and over. Their season, the way Portland has gotten healthy at the right moment. North Carolina, so good.
Nice ball by Swanson there. Gotta say.
What a diagonal that is. Bike into Morehouse. For the semifinals for Orlando.
I mean, listen, the two players that we've talked about all season is Barbara Banda and Chowinga, right? So I would love to see that matchup once again.
Good leading touch from Adriana. Back heel, arriving.
I mean, that was really nice. Like, Anna with a great, quick ball out to the wing, straight up to Adriana. Adriana, like, onto it, and then the little back heel to give that. Angelina shot on goal. This is some quality soccer here, man. This is some nice football for sure. Stream Jesus says, "Give her a chance, boys. Trust me. After that happens to a goalie one time, they'll always remember it and try the best never to let it happen again." Yeah, for sure. I know.
I was gonna call it La Pulpa.
La Pulpa. Anna is a pro.
There, swallowing.
Courage teammates are probably wanting to punch me in the nose right now.
What?
I mean, there's definitely some rolling eyes.
Yeah.
NWSL commentators.
What?
I don't know what they're talking about there.
Both cities are tugging your heartstrings. Adriana, Angelina wore the captain's armband for a moment in a major semifinal. This ball
it's so unlucky right there.
That could have been another one. This could have been like 6 or 7. Like, we hit the post twice. there's some great save by Nair. Like we could have scored even more than 4. There's a lot of good chances in this game.
We'll hold that off the line. It is not a fifth.
Ending minutes for Chicago.
Ball through from Swanson to Bike. Knocked down. That's going to be out for a corner. Will come up short in their return to the postseason. Listen, Nichols blows for full time. That's it. First home playoff game. First home playoff win for the Orlando Pride.
There we go, Luis. That's it.
Yep, that's it.
All righty. Any other thoughts on this game before we move on?
Look, I just think that we will, if we continue that level against Kansas City is going to be a tough opponent for sure. But I think with the 12th man, which will be the crowd, and we need to just start with the goals early. Like if we put up a couple of goals early, I think that's going to dictate what's coming to the game. Obviously, Kansas has Chawinga. I don't know if we're going to be seeing Corey Dyke again having that big of a night, because she had a massive night against Chawinga before. I don't know. I honestly feel like she has all the potential, but Chawinga also probably has seen some film. So it's kind of like going back into the drawing board again. You know what I mean? That's the toughest. This is why the NWSL to me is it's the toughest league in women's sports, because you have to rewrite every single plan you had in the previous game. The rival team already knows how you're going to pretty much attack them, and now you have to rewrite the wheel, and reinvent the wheel. There you go. Reinvent the wheel again. And but it is a must-win game. Want 2 more games, and they can celebrate all they want.
Just 2 games, Luis. The other games that happened, of course, around the league. It's so nice. I love the playoff format, Luis. It makes me so happy. It's great. Just 8 teams, quarterfinal, semifinal, final. Yeah, compared to MLS, it's a dream. Yeah. So we've got Washington Spirit beating the Bay 2-1. That was a pretty tight game. Bay were up like really late there, and then Washington managed to come back and win it in extra time. So that one, I think, pretty tight. You got to say the Gotham Portland again. I think Gotham, were the better team and deserve to go through, but 2-1, pretty tight match. And obviously Kansas only managed just to get over the line against, the Courage, who we know are a very good defensive team. So that one also pretty tight. My point here being, we're the only team that really just blew it out the water in the playoffs. I mean, how often you look at playoffs and you see a team scoring 4 goals like that? That to me was a statement. I think we've made a real, not that we needed to, of course, we were the favorite, but a real statement here from the Pride to win this well. And then looking at the rest of the results and the way the other teams played, the final 4 that we think we're going to go through went through, but it was touch and go for some of them there.
No, for sure. I feel like, and again, I don't want to downplay the win. I mean, this was a massive 4-1 win, but I feel like on paper, Chicago is the weakest team that came seeded to the playoffs. I just feel like, if you take the talents that NC has, and even Bay, Kundajandi, and all those players, even Portland, I just feel like we were in a really good spot to play Chicago, because I mean, they have really good players, but I feel like we totally obliterated them. I think it would have been probably not as a 4-1 win if it would have been maybe North Carolina or Bay if we would have played them, right? So I just think that worked into our favor as part of the sport, but now I think this is a real test. I mean, if you want to win the big one, you have to beat Kansas, And then more than likely, I don't know, who do you feel is going to go through into the final on the other side?
I think. Oh, it's hard
I
to
have a
say
feeling
on
it's going
that
to be
one.
an upset.
I think it's gonna be Gotham. I
You have a
can't look.
feeling it's going to
I
be
just think
Gotham?
they got just yeah. I think there's just too much about them, and they've got most of their assets healthy and fit, and you forget that team is just like U.S. national
Yeah.
women's team stacked, bro. Like, and Rose Lavelle is playing well, and they're just a giant, and they won it last year. They just got a lot. And I think Washington are good, but I think what you should like. I think against Bay they showed that they shouldn't be having to do it in extra time. I think it shows that you know they're just maybe is not as strong. So I think Gotham are gonna get it through.
Well, I'm going to go the other way, John.
Oh really?
I have a feeling that Washington, I think Washington's going to stun Gotham.
Wow.
Um,
I mean, it's so tight. I think this is there hasn't been any upsets, right? We didn't see any upsets here. The top four are the top four. And also we've said all year this is the best four teams in the league, and these are the four that could win NWSL Cup, and so there's no surprises here, right? For me, no surprises.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I just don't like Gotham. That's probably what I'm
No,
saying.
I just I don't want Gotham to. I think our chances in the final would be much better against Washington
Exactly. I
than
said
Gotham. I
Washington.
agree. I think the best part is though, as we'll talk about in a bit, the Kansas City we're playing them. So no one's playing Kansas City. Like we're not playing Kansas City in Kansas City for the final.
Correct.
That's the best part for me because that would be basically an away game. Um,
Now, the final is in Kansas City, right?
yeah. Mhm.
Now, Orlando. Now, I don't know if this
Yeah.
is true, but I've heard from other colleagues that around that time where the final is, it's
Mm.
super cold.
Yeah, I am getting
And that,
ready with my coats. I'll tell you that right now. I'm gonna need a
right, I
jacket, bro.
heard
I need
that
a
it's like,
pride beanie. That's what I need.
yeah, I heard that this is super cold. Now, whether we face Washington or Gotham, that's
Mm,
one of the reasons why I feel like, I mean, both of those teams are used to kind of playing in cold temperatures. I think
yeah.
probably more Washington. But I just really feel that Orlando needs to, and I know I'm nobody to give advice, but I'm just saying, look, we should definitely go to Kansas a little earlier. If we win the championship, if we win in Orlando, hey, yeah, celebrate, maybe pop a bottle or whatever, and then just kind of get in the shower and then just go back into the hotel and then just leave the next day to Kansas. And you probably ask, well, you're exaggerating, Lewis. It's like, well, because weather also, I mean, if it's gonna be this cold, I mean, do you have the weather channel up? Maybe we should check the weather for that time.
I'd have to
I
look it
mean,
up. Yeah.
let me take a look.
Um,
I mean, right now it's 55 degrees.
yeah, it's gonna be cool. Also, that stadium is open to the
Yeah.
river, so it's literally like one side of
So
it is basically open, so the wind will coming down the river, and
what day
yeah,
is the final? Do you know?
it is the 23rd. Yeah, 23rd.
So according to, oh, look at that. So according to AccuWeather, on the 23rd, are you ready, guys? The lowest. So when you wake up and you make your little coffee, or you go get your mocha macchiato, right?
Yeah.
29 degrees.
Whew.
And the highest in that day is 44 degrees.
Wow.
So
I mean,
bond,
I'll
you
be
know,
bringing my coat for sure.
I mean, again, people are gonna think I'm exaggerating, but I do feel they gotta acclimate. It's just, I think if they acclimate maybe 3 days, or like for example in the qualifiers for South America, I know this has nothing to do with women's sports, but in CONMEBOL qualifiers, for example, Bolivia, which they're known to play in high altitude, and they are known to play like Manchester City, like high altitude. You know, almost, they play in such high altitude that when they play in normal in the plane in normal sea level, they suck. So they actually do the reverse. They go to the sea level like 3 or 4 days beforehand, or 72 hours beforehand, to acclimate to the sea level, so they're able to make their game a little better, and they get used to like kind of like the sea and the weather and things like that. I feel maybe it's necessary. I mean, 29 degrees at night, 44 your highest. I mean, why did they pick Kansas City? Because they were so sure that Kansas was going to win this thing.
I think I don't know if the league is regretting this or what, but yeah,
No one's gonna.
it was. I think of a league that I have a lot of time for, and I have a lot of respect for the way that they do
Yeah,
things, because I think there's a lot of, openness, and I think there's a lot of just like keeping it simple and just
yeah,
like
transparency too.
not like overcomplicating
I
and
love the
being
commissioner.
stupid.
She's great.
Yeah, I think they're doing a very good job. But I do think this was a mistake, and I think even the ticket price. Like I have tickets. I'm going to be going obviously, and I booked them a while ago, being like maybe this will happen, and I want to. And I was thinking like, okay, how much they're going to be. I got like pretty good lower bowl tickets for like I think it was like $75 each. So in a 11,000 seat stadium,
Mhm.
they weren't even really that expensive in terms of modern day tickets go. So I was like, okay, so you've got people in there, but you're not charging like a lot of money. So you're not. I think the revenue lost here from NWSL is big. I don't know if they underestimated how much they would blow up this year, or how big women's sports was going to get this year, or whatever. But they could have, we could be at a neutral site. We could have used the MLS stadium, right? That had like 30,000 capacity and filled it up. Like it could have happened. So I think there's just a naivety here. And I think it's great that they have the first women's, specific soccer stadium in the country. I think that's a great achievement, but I don't think that's just enough in itself to be like, we want to put the final there. And I think also because it's one of your teams, that also is just a little bit like, so if they do get to the final, then it's a home game. Like that's an
Is
unfair advantage.
is Don Garberish the move?
Yeah, I don't want to put them in that camp because they're not at all. I think that, like we said, I think we have a lot of respect for Jessica. I think the way that they've
No,
run
I
the
think she's
league and a lot of
phenomenal.
the executives there have done a really good job. So I think this is the only thing why I have gripe with the NWSL is like, why did you choose to do this?
Yeah, I mean, you live and learn,
I
but
think the only reason is because it's the first women's soccer, and they want to make a point of that, which I get.
yeah, but I mean, it could be also the lobby of what's his name, the quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs, Mahomes. I
Right. I mean,
mean,
I think there's, they are their league's darling and stuff. Like there's a certain amount of that going on, but
well,
she, I think also the respect for us is growing this year, right? And I think the league is not, they're not dismissing us. They're giving us our flowers at times. So I think that's
yeah.
great.
So we have the chance to, at home, make that rivalry definitely become a rivalry. I think after this game, I mean, think about it. Orlando beating Kansas in Central Florida, pandemonium everywhere. Oh, pandemonium too. And taking a quick celebration after the game, and then taking the plane to Kansas City, which is where Kansas is from, to play the final at their house. You know, in front of probably Kansas City fans that thought that Kansas is going to probably make, or are hopeful that they're going to make it, and they're going to be pretty pissed watching the
Sure.
Pride play the final instead. So
Let's talk about the NWSL awards, and then we'll get deep into Kansas coming
yeah.
up on Sunday. All right, the NWSL awards are here. Of course, we are nominated. Let's go through them one by one, Luis. You can say what you think. I'll say what I think. We'll say who we voted for if you voted for somebody different than what you think. And then also we'll end with Coach of the Year. That shouldn't even be a vote. Just give it to Seb.
For sure.
Most valuable player, MVP. Barbara Banda, of course. Temwa Chawinga, Marta, Trinity Rodman, and Sophia Smith. Luis, who you got?
Well, I mean, if um if you're looking at stats, obviously Chawinga makes the case of MVP because 25, I think it was 25 goals.
26
20 goals in 25
contributions in
matches. So
25. Yeah. I mean, that's not
yes,
goals, but goal contributions.
yeah. So
20 goals, I think.
now, if it's about 20. Yep, 20 goals. I believe something like that. Yeah. 20 goals in 25 matches. So single season scoring record. She broke the record. So if you're looking at stats wise, definitely Chawinga. Barbara Banda for sure. She's definitely in the talks. I think that if she would have scored a couple more than the ones she's missed, she would have been probably a high roller. I think Marta, based on her influence and what she means to the game, and her possible being her last season, and not getting that gold medal, it's probably, and she's an intricate part of the Orlando Pride. So she's there. Trinity Rodman, I mean, she was injured a lot in this season, so I don't know why she's there, but great. And Sophia Smith, I think it's because of the Ballon d'Or. I think it's because of the
Yeah, I
Ballon
mean,
d'Or.
when they were available and they had good seasons, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm with you on that
So
one. I think really this is between Chewinga and Banda and Marta. Like I
yeah,
think
for sure.
there is a certain amount of like the popularity contest here because obviously the public
Yeah.
vote on this, and like the U.S. women's national team players we know are always just going to get a lot of votes regardless. So Smith and Rodman will get votes regardless for that. Honestly, for me, like I think Chewinga deserves it the most. Like you said, Luis. I mean that goal, like that's insane amount of goal contribution. She's been the most consistent, most dangerous player all year. I personally voted for Banda and Marta over her because I'm a homer.
Well, I
but
voted.
but probably Chewing is going to win it and probably should win it.
I voted Marta.
Yeah,
Just because I feel like she's the GOAT, and even though she probably doesn't have the goals of Banda or Chawinga, but I feel like what she means to the game and her possibly being her last season, I feel that it's a good way of um, in a way, the league parting ways with her in a way, and I think no one single player in the NWSL will complain if Marta gets the MVP.
I mean, she had a
So
great season, but I think on like they've all had good seasons, but Chewinga has probably had the best. Like let's
yeah,
look at
I
the
know
stats.
for a fact that Banda can get to Chawinga level
Yeah, I like.
next
That's the
season.
thing. Like Banda had a period where she dropped off a little bit, wasn't scoring goals. Chewinga hasn't done that at all. She's just
Yeah.
been consistent, like week in, week out, constantly contributing. So it's hard to look past her for this one. We got a comment here from Shinta said, put up Banda / Marta to cut the votes Chewinga gonna take. Same with Strom, Sam's Defender of the Year. That's interesting. So I mean,
Yeah.
it could be. Maybe the league is being sneaky like that, but I think Marta and Banda deserve to be up there. I'm not debating that. Great that we have two candidates. I think that's awesome. This one we're going to talk about in a second. Defender of the Year. Pride or Die says Gurma is a great defender, but how is she on there?
Exactly.
Like your team ended
I agree.
10th and you didn't play a full season.
One of the
NWSL media is a
worst
joke.
seasons for Gurma.
Yeah, I think I gotta say I thought the same thing. Obviously, Gurma's beloved by U.S. national team, is a great defender, but yeah, like San Diego, not good this year. So you can't argue that she was a great defender when your team didn't even make playoffs.
Tara McCown, she scored 2 own goals. Why is she there?
Kaylee Kurtz is a genuine shout. She's been very good all year. I can see that one. Emily Sams, of course, and Kylie Strom for us.
I just feel Emily Sams here.
Yeah, look, nothing like we can't belittle Kylie Strom's contribution because she has been amazing all
Phenomenal.
year as well. But Emily just stands out in these
Yeah.
moments, and I think she has shown, like with the U.S. national team, she had that one game, and everybody's like, "Wow, look how good she is." I'm like, yeah, like
She's had goals.
yeah, and
She's
then she
had
played right back. The level of calm
yeah,
that she shows when she's on the ball, Luis, is just yeah. I think honestly she is the best, or if not one of the best defenders in this league, and probably should win this award. So
for sure.
obviously voting for Emily and Kylie in this one. Goalkeeper of the year: Ann Katrinberger, Mandy Hott, and Anna Morehouse.
So
Now, what do you think on this one, Luis?
why is Utah even on the awards? Like, you
I
know what I
think
mean?
because just like stats, she had some very good games
Wow.
where she like kept Utah in it, even though they were terrible. Like it's, when you're a good goalkeeper because your team is constantly getting peppered all the time and you make a lot of saves, it makes you look better than, you know what I mean? Like there's something to be said about goalkeepers stand out when your backline sucks.
Okay, so it's kind of like when what's her name, Ashley. Oh man, Ashley, the former Pride goalkeeper was in. I forgot her name. Ashley something. When she
Ashton
used
Harris?
Ashley Harris, yeah, there
Yeah.
you go. When Ashley Harris was keeping for the Pride. No, I voted for Anna Morehouse. I just feel like Anna had a phenomenal season, a quick turnaround. Obviously, Ann Katrinberger is a great goalkeeper. Same with Mandy Hod, but I just feel Morehouse definitely had a phenomenal season. So
I think if you're looking at the stats, you got to say, Anna is incredible. Like, not only did she have the most clean sheets, but she also had
yeah,
a period where she didn't concede a goal for what was it like? So it was like 800. I can't remember how many minutes it
800
was.
some minutes.
So, yeah, it was an insane amount of minutes to keep a clean sheet for. Like that. That's just nuts. Like their level of form that she was in at that point in time was.
But they're gonna try to
incredible.
give it to. They're gonna get. I mean, just like Proud or Die.
I think again, it's like Ann
Yeah.
Katrin, like she's
I think they're
a
gonna
popular
give it
pick
to the
here.
Gotham
So
person.
I think it sucks if they do that. They shouldn't do that.
I just think they should call it Jersey FC, man, or
Yeah, I mean, Pride or Die says they're gonna give it to AKB. That's really hard to say. I always want to say Burger. Let's just go on Burger.
yeah, Burger.
Down. Yeah, they're gonna give it to Burger. NWSL person hates the Pride, and they're gonna vote for her. Yeah, I mean, the media probably
Well, I mean,
isn't our biggest fans. I
it's
can
probably
see that.
true. I mean, I just don't understand why they call Gotham and they have nothing about Batman on there. At least get a partnership with DC, man. You know,
right.
like have the bat sign or something.
Shinta says because Hart is a good keeper and they did well after Irod and Co got fired. I mean, yeah, definitely. Hart has a lot of talent. I'm not debating
Yeah.
that. I just think because Utah so far down when you think of goalkeeper of the year, like there's, I think also the other teams that went like high up, like Kansas, changed their goalkeeper halfway through the year, so they haven't got a viable candidate. Midfielder of the year: Troy Bethune, Vanessa Di Bernardo, Lola Labonta. I said that completely wrong. Marta and Ashley Sanchez.
Marta.
I mean, I think because Corey Bethune is in Rookie of the Year, she would be the other one. I think like Corey Bethune should win Rookie of the Year, and then Marta should win Defender of the Year. I'm sorry, Midfielder of the Year.
Ashley Sanchez definitely makes a case too, and Di Bernardo as well.
Had a great game. Like Labonta is a great player. Had a great season as well. Can't deny that. Di Bernardo, like these are Marta's up against,
I think Marta again, if she gets two awards this year, it'd be phenomenal. You know what I mean?
I think the advantage here is like apart from maybe Croy Bethune because she's like a new USA darling. Like again, it's this popularity thing. You got to think about like these votes that are just going to be put in for U.S. national team players, the people that don't watch the league but follow national team and just vote for them regardless. And Croy Bethune has had a good year, but I think Marta should win.
Yeah, Rookie of the Year right there.
Shinta says Hutton for Rookie of the Year. I think it's also a very good shout. I would pick Croy Bethune.
Me too.
personally. I think Claire Hutton has been very impressive, and I think, like often those players go overlooked in those positions. But I think there's just something about the way Corey Bethune started this year and the way that she just came out of the gates firing for a rookie that was really impressive for me. Shinja says, has to be Marta on midfield of the year. I hope so. Pride or Die says, in the Equalizer soccer article, our goalkeeper of the year, they give Berger the nod because of percentages and not shutouts. Yeah, I mean, there you go. Everyone's going to find their reason for who they want, right, Luis? Shinta says, Schultz and Campbell, best goalkeepers in the league for me. So, okay. Yeah. I mean, Campbell not being on there was a surprise. I thought, if we're talking about bad defensive teams or the goalkeepers have to ride it out, Luis, maybe Campbell should be on that list. Alrighty, rookie of the year. We kind of talked about that one. Corey Bethune, Ali Setner, the only other shout on there, but I don't know. She's had a good season, but not as good as the other two, in my opinion. And then coach of the year, Luis. Tell us who should win coach of the year.
Seb Hines, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, let's just Juan
And if
Carlos.
there's and if there's an
Vlatko, just
executive of
take
the
their names
year, if
down.
there's an executive of the year, Haley Carter.
There should be a front office award or something.
Front office of the year or whatever,
Yeah.
give it to Jackie or give it to
Yeah, I think like a cultural turnaround award. That's what we need.
Yeah, it's like Seb Hines, look, I saw him as a player. I saw him I saw him when he was like I saw Miguel Gallardo being the goalkeeper coach at some point of the Pride because things were that bad.
Yep.
We saw the UF coach coming in and joining for like 12 games, I think. Or I forgot her name. It was a lovely lady too. She was phenomenal, but I just feel she was retired, and then we brought her back from retirement, and the way he's turned around this team and created such a positive culture, him and Haley, and tactically, I mean, the way he's handled the signings of the players, how using the players, making exciting football. People were yearning and complaining because of OCSC, how they don't play exciting football, the puppy specials and all that stuff. And here comes the Pride in 2024, boom, playing exciting football, and turn a whole franchise around. And I feel like he has a bright future. I mean, right now he's just getting started. He's on the verge of clinching. I mean, he already clinched the Shield, but he's probably going to be clinching, hopefully, the NWSL Championship. You imagine that in such short span of time to have those two accolades. I think it's the beginning of we may be seeing the next UN's women's national team coach, or even the Lionesses coach at some point. Obviously this is that's the level of coach that Orlando has that right now, top quality. I think it's a no-brainer. Vlatko, yes, I mean, don't get me wrong, he's a phenomenal coach, but he's already won it like several times, dude. And Amoros, great too, but I feel Seb, I mean, just because turning the whole franchise around from being everybody not really counting on the Pride winning any games or anything like that, to grab that team, pick the pieces, have the depth, and again, facing teams twice in a year, and them also watching film and kind of reinventing the wheel every time tactically. It's not only tough, but it's just mentally exhausting. So just for all of that he's withstand this whole entire season, I think he is a no-brainer for him to be the coach of the year. If he's not the coach of the year, dude, I'm gonna chain myself outside Kansas City Stadium with no, I'm just joking. with free Seb. Remember, free Seb.
Yeah, I mean, I kept thinking of the meme, of the gif of Seb doing the like arms out when he's an Orlando City fan in front of the goal, and it says,
Yeah.
"Are you not entertained?" Which is my favorite thing to post for Seb Hines.
He's
So,
also being a huge part, without even him doing it, of kind of being that bridge between OCSC fans and those hardcore like bros like, I'll never go to see Pride, man. Like bridge, making that bridge, saying, "Oh, yo, Seb's there. I'm gonna check it out. Let me go check it out." You know,
yeah, I mean that's the
I
thing.
think he's been
It's a
the
great
perfect
story,
bridge.
man. For some guys, he's just a player that played for us in Orlando City at one point,
Exactly.
and we weren't very good really when he played for us as well. Like he
But
was
he
not
saved
part
us
of a
from
good back line, and now look at him now. And I think you're totally right, Luis. I think in women's soccer, he's one of the hottest coaches in the world right now.
in the world right now.
And if you're, I think we don't talk about what ifs, but if I'm a big team in England and I'm looking around for a coach, and if I'm Chelsea, I mean they've just replaced Emma Hayes with an equally as good coach. But in that
The real club.
scenario, if you're a big club in England or anywhere like Barca, like whatever, whoever, I'd be calling up Sepp Hines, and like I don't think he wants to go. I don't think he's gonna be interested. I think he's like, look, I'm here with Haley. I'm happy. Like I don't think Sepp's gonna be tempted unless it's like a really big club and a really amazing offer. But he's hot right now, man. Like he
Yeah.
is, I think, and he should win this award. And I think if with all the stats that we read out at the beginning of like the longest defeat streak, all this stuff, like there's no doubt, give the man the award.
It's
So
just the way of keeping the players motivated. And these are players, some of these players like Corey Dyke, it's their first season in the NWSL, man. And they're
yeah,
playing at the highest level. At the
this is
highest
a great
level.
year.
So, I mean, just that's the coach. That's the coaching staff. And also you gotta give kudos to Giles Barnes. You gotta give kudos to all his coaching staff. I mean, Giles Barnes also former OCSC player. He knows what it is to play for Orlando and living in Central Florida. So, I mean, it's just a great time right now to be an Orlando fan for sure.
For sure. Cintra says A-Rod with a cheeky face. Yeah, we're not voting for him. We're voting for Sav. You know it. Pride or Die, best content, social media, and best GM should go to Pride
For
for
sure,
sure. Love
100%.
love that. We agree. If we're being honest, the players would take the championship of the individual awards, no doubt. Yeah, of course.
110%.
Speaking of the championship, Luis, let's go and talk all about Kansas City. I wanted to look back at our head-to-head against them before. Of course, there was the very big game back in July where we won 2-1 and over-celebrated, apparently. And then the 0-0 at our house, kind of two big giants in September, kind of canceling itself out on Eris night. But looking back before that, we're kind of a thorn in Kansas City's side, even when we weren't, the Pride that we know now. 2023, they got the better of us. They won both of those. But 22, 2 draws, and way back in 21, their first year when they were really like the league's darling, we beat them both times that year. So I think there's a bit of history here, like 3 wins for us, 3 draws, and 2 wins for them. Technically, we've got the better of this team over our years of playing them. And this game, at least, is probably the biggest game ever in the history of the Pride. When you say, I mean, this is everything. This is do or die. This is everything that we've been built for in a massive game and a huge moment.
It's a huge game for the City Beautiful, for sure. It's kind of like playing the Eastern Conference Finals, and I mean we've been in this scenario before with the Magic, but it's a different sport. When it comes to soccer, yes, I mean this is pretty massive. What I want to say is that we also have to be smart. So we cannot just go all out and pretty much use all the bullets in our arsenal in this game, and then when we go into the promised land, which is the final, then we have no bullets left. I think we have to be smart in this game. We know what kind of pressure Kansas is going to do on the Pride, and I think the team needs to be defensively, has to have a masterful game, masterful first class, and then for first class game, and then the attack, those chances that they create, because they're going to create chances for sure. They're going to have to score on them. I mean, if you go up 2-0 in the first half, goes out to halftime, you already have the game by, sorry, but I'm going to say this, by the balls, you already got the game by the balls. And you're just going to impose yourself. And now Seb has a chance to strategically even make substitutions based on what players that Kansas has that are the most the most creative or crafty, to try to neutralize them and then try to get the win. But you got to be smart. You don't want to go and start over fouling. You don't want to go and start turning the ball over. It's not yet the final. Now in the final, I say yes, let it all loose, like win at all costs. You know what I mean? But here, yes, is win, but we gotta be smart. We gotta be smart.
In their last game, of course, they got that 1-0 over KC Current. Sorry, KC Current. They are KC over North Carolina Courage. This was their lineup. They had Schultz in there, the back line, Wheeler, Sharples, Cook and Mace, Hutton, DiBernardo, Labonta. And then they had Michelle Cooper in there with Dabinia back up top and Chewinga as well. So, obviously we know this team. We know their threats. We faced them a lot. Michelle Cooper did cause some problems last time. Remember, we had issues with Mace. She had a very good game against us. Chewinga we talked about till the cows come home. DiBernardo, Labonta, they're as similar to us in the sense that they're stacked, Luis. I think where we have the advantage is I think our backline, our defense, our general pressing, our defensive acumen at home is a major advantage for us. And Kansas City is, are good and they're good defensively, but I think we are a more well-rounded team that is very strong defensively and very good attacking. I think they rely more on their attack, and if we can see an open game, hopefully it's a game where we score more goals than them. But it could be a tight game. We don't know. Like last time they came, we thought, okay, like who's going to get the goals first? And there was no goals, right? So I think we have to obviously play our best possible. But tactically, I don't know what you would do differently. I think we have to go about our game plan. What would you do differently, Luis, from Chicago? Much?
Yeah. Set pieces.
Yeah,
Being able to take care of the set pieces. Cook and Sharples are not really the best center backs in the league, in my opinion.
They struggled early doors a lot with that.
I mean, you got players like Banda, you got players like even Carriabello, like also shoot. One thing that they're never going to see the Pride do, shooting from distance. And if they have at least those two with the sequences they already make as a team now, like they can hit him from any flank, and it's going to be tough for Kansas to withstand this. This is a semifinal at home in front of hopefully of a sold out crowd, massive game, and then you're pretty much saying goodbye to a season because then you have to fly to freaking Kansas to play the final. So you're saying goodbye to your fans. They're probably not going to be able to go to Kansas, right? They have supported you throughout. So mentally, the players are going to feel the pressure. Orlando has, I think, the biggest bag of rocks, behind them, biggest weight on, because you cannot disappoint, those little girls have come to every Pride game that wanted Julie's jersey or they wanted Haley's picture, you know what I mean? So the players mentally are going to be like, so you got to hit them with surprise them. That's the first thing. Make it a little different than it was when they first faced each other. Hit him with the set pieces, with prepared plays, of a set piece, of a free kick. Shoot from distance. Try to band, instead of trying to go for the 1v1 against Schultz. Just try to shoot it from, try to curve the ball. Marta shoot him from distance. Abello has a good shoot from distance as well, really well. Summer as well. So Angelina, So I mean, I think we could take advantage of that, and I think it's going to be more firepower for us.
I think this is going to be one of those games where both teams are going to feel each other out. Like, it's going to be that sort of like opening 20 minutes of like who's, who goes first kind of thing. That's what we kind of saw last time. And then I think, it's going to be a case of we got to adapt to the game. If they're starting to have advantages in certain places, we're going to have to deal with that. Or if we're not able to create like we are, then we're going to change it up. And like you said, Luis, like, long shots is a great option. You're using the set pieces. Like, that is our advantage. I think we have seen throughout this year that we can attack in lots of different ways. We can hold the ball, we can, play tiki-taka style and possess and break teams down, or we can do like last game where we just go straight up the middle and play long balls and get balls in over the top the banda. So like, we have lots of different varying ways to attack. We have lots of different players to play in different positions, different ways that they attack as well. So I think Seb's gonna kind of read the game and then do like he has been doing all season, making the right subs and using the game to figure out where we can hurt them and how best to hurt them.
Yeah, for sure. In the mid, you got the Bernardo and Labonta and Hunton. We could for sure have McCutcheon, Angelina there. But I would like to see Angelina on a more of a defensive mindset game, with Marking Di Bernardo. I feel like she would have the speed, and also it will make Di Bernardo very frustrated and make them fall for the foul trap. Make them foul us. Make them foul us, and then take advantage of those set pieces.
For sure. Alrighty, I want to pull up the map here. Alonso said it was sold out. I don't think it's sold out, Alonso. I don't know where you're getting that information from, but obviously the tickets are on sale. If you're just listening to us and you're not like a Pride fan who's not really invested, not go on your tickets. If you're an Orlando City fan who's listening, please come to this game, because we really want to pack the house. Like we said, the last game was amazing. The atmosphere was there. And let's hope we can get better than that. I mean, 3:00 on a Sunday, you're right. Like, it's great time for families. It's, you're not going to be up late. I feel like, Luis, hopefully we can get a really good crowd for this one. What do you think?
For sure. It's going to be hopefully more than 11,000 people. I would like to see, I know
they've opened like the Upper West Club. They've opened a lot of this upper level over here. Like, this is earlier in the season, none of this was open.
Yeah, for sure. So I commend everybody to come and support the Pride. All the people that go to the freaking Kissimmee to watch OCB. Just mind you, OCB so unfortunately got knocked out in the first round. So you're probably missing a lot of soccer. Come see the Pride. They're playing a freaking semifinal, guys. And then it will be an amazing send off if they do it with the being going to the final. I think. Yeah, I mean, I could tell you right now, I don't have the cash to go to Kansas, so I'm probably gonna miss that moment. But I know you'll be there, so I'm sure footage definitely we're gonna have. But it's amazing. It's an amazing it's an amazing moment to be a Pride fan, and this is definitely gonna make the team grow even more for the next seasons to come, for sure. So I mean, they have everything going on right now.
Definitely. So I want to encourage everybody to come out, and this is a huge game. I'm already nervous for Sunday, Luis. And the other thing is, there's no Orlando City this weekend, so
no Orlando City.
There's no other competing things happening hopefully in your life, and your Sunday afternoon, unless you're a big NFL fan, might be free. Let's see. Let's see. I got a few comments here. Pride or Die says it would hurt if we beat them a player down and not get it over the line in the semis. Yeah, definitely. Also, Ornell Burnett says when Marta is ready to retire, I would suggest that we sign the Haitian superstar playing for the powerhouse Lyon from France. Interesting. I don't know who is that who plays. I probably should know who that is, but I don't know who you're referring to. Shinta says resale tickets should be cheap if we beat KC. Let's turn KC Stadium purple. I do know, Luis, that there are a lot of people that are in the NWSL Pride Facebook group that have got tickets and are going to the final as well. But we should not get ahead of ourselves. We got a big task here.
Yeah, I know.
Beating Kansas City. Sometimes you're like, hey John, you can't say things like it's easy, and like I'm very aware of the challenge in front of us right here. I'm not gonna say Casey scares me, but they are,
they're a good team.
Yeah, of course.
They're a good team.
They're probably don't, they didn't want to play us in the semis, I'm sure. And it's good that we're playing them in the semis for all the reasons that we said, but we got to get it over the line. Lineup for this one, Luis, you think much change? I don't think so. I think it's going to be
I think it's going to be Morehouse, Dyke, although Dyke, I don't know. I feel Seb's gonna go maybe for Dyke, but
she did a great job with Chewinga last time.
Yeah. So it could be Dyke, Sams, Strom, Abello, McCutcheon, Angelina, Marta. I believe we're gonna see Ali Watt again, and then we're gonna see Summer, and then up top Barbara Bend.
Yeah, I think if for some reason Summer's still feeling like she can't get in, like Adriana played well, of course. So yeah,
it's just because Watt has that back and forth, and she can do also the defensive work, and we're gonna need that for Chewinga. So if Dyke has a problem on the wing with her, you got Watt right there that can go and match her speed and at least be a body that Chewinga won't be able to go through and double team her. Now, I think it's a tactical, and right now I think Watt makes the case for starting. I think right now I think she deserves it. I just feel she's had a couple of really good games, so but we'll see. In the end, it's Seb's decision, but I think I'll go for that.
This home advantage is something we really can't underestimate, Luis. It's massive. It's absolutely massive, and I think we've been so adamant to defend our house, and so this game at home is a big advantage for us. A few more comments here. Shinta says, Barrett, good shout. I'd rather get Missimo for cheaper than spend the bank on Tabitha Chewinga. He's talking about De Mornay, who I actually do know. Michelle De Mornay. I only know because of FIFA, because I played with her on like Ultimate Team or something. She's very fast, if I remember correctly. So love that. Let's start the list of players we want to sign now, Luis. We'll send it over to Haley and see what she thinks. If you have not, I want to give a shout out to a show, Luis. It's kind of cool. If you've not seen this yet, there is a show on Twitter. It's called The Off Season. Weirdly, it's only on X or Twitter, and it's Ali Watt is in it, and it is I don't know how to describe. I kind of described it as Drive to Survive meets like a Real Housewives of Dade County, but
you're asking the wrong guy.
Yeah, right. Like essentially, I forget who the main person is. I think one of the Gotham players. I can't remember. Her name is slipping my mind. But anyway, she invites a bunch of players from NWSL preseason to all live in a house and preseason train together. So those episodes have been coming out. It's been really interesting, like insider. Great to see Allie. Being Allie, she's awesome in it. But Lola Bonta is in it, for example. So we're getting a little inside information on a player that like their mentality and stuff. So really, I think she's a lot like Marta. That's the vibe I'm getting from her. Like she's that sort of determined, driven veteran of their squad. So go and check out the off season if you've not seen it. It's great. It's really I'm not a big, what is the word? I'm not a big like reality TV guy, but this is cool. It's cool to see the NWSL players in a show with some behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, check out that show. I'm gonna check it out too. So
Yeah, and you get to see Allie being Allie in real life, so she's always entertaining. Let's be honest.
She's so fun, man.
Yeah, she's jokes.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well that's our show. This is a long one, Luis, but hey, it's a big occasion, right? Like, I mean, I can't wait till Sunday.
Same here.
I'll be a nervous wreck all week.
It's gonna be a phenomenal game, so I'm definitely excited for what's to come. I'm super proud of this team, whether things work or not. Knock on wood. This has been an amazing historic season, and no negativity here, guys. If let's say for some reason it doesn't go our way, that doesn't mean that we throw the season away. I mean, this team has completely turned people's hearts and minds from all over the place, and they've been in the highest. I mean, they've been in the Ballon d'Or. You know what I mean? So, that's huge.
You make a great point there, Luis, is that we should just appreciate the moment, right?
Correct.
We should all while you're there at the game, we'll all be nervous and wanting to win, but just enjoy the fact that we're in the semifinals at home and we're getting to watch our team play as well as they are. So
yeah, don't become like the other side. They think they're the Real Madrid. They want to be Real Madrid really fast. You can't be Real Madrid in 2 days.
Hey, I mean, we won the Shield.
You gotta develop.
Let's right, exactly.
Step by
I think
step. We're doing
of
great.
course we want to win it all, but regardless, this has been an incredible season, and we should always be thankful and happy.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So,
alrighty. Well, thank you very much. The socials, if you could do those real quick for us, Luis, and we'll get
for
out
sure.
of here.
Thank you for everybody listening and watching. We are Loud and Proud Orlando. We're available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, X at LP_podcast, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube as Loud and Proud Orlando. Thank you guys for your support, for always retweeting our stuff and liking our stuff, and also for all the Facebook groups also where I'm allowed to post. Thank you so much for your support and allowing me to put that stuff up there, and so you guys are able to watch the show live. And again, Vamos Pride, we're gonna win it.
Vamos Pride. See you all there.
Have a good one.
Let's go.